All right, we're going to look at a classic, maybe somewhat obscure tune called I Summon You by Spoon. And the reason why we're looking at this one is because it's got a really great strum pattern for learning how to mute with your palm in your right hand. And also, it's got a 2-measure long strum pattern. So it's kind of like Proud Mary, but with one more measure included in that strum pattern. So we're kind of upping the ante on our rhythm skills in this one. All right, so let's run through it and then we'll break it down. Here we go.
Remember the way to the world is the sound that we used to buy on cassette and 45. And now this little girl, she says, will we make it at home? 800 miles is a drive. Yeah, you got the weight of the world coming down like a mother's eye. All that you can give is a cold goodbye. Law enforcement's impressed you survived to this age. Strapped up soldiers that lock you in a cage without goodbye. For a nickel bribe. Oh no, where are you tonight? It's too late to break it off. I need a release. The signals are cold that don't get me off. I summon you here, my love. Got the way of the world. I summon you here, my love. Remember the weight of the world is the sound that we used to buy. And all that you can give is a cold goodbye. The law enforcement's impressed you survived to this age. Strapped up soldiers that lock you in a cage without goodbye. For a nickel bribe. Oh no, where are you tonight? And how do we get here? It's too late to break it off. I need a release. The signals are cold that don't get me off. I summon you here, my love. The weight of the world. I summon you here, my love. That don't get me off. I summon you here, my love. That don't get me off. I summon you here, my love.
Okay, let's take a look at this intro. And this is kind of a tough one to transition from the intro into the verse. So the strum pattern is tricky in this intro because it's all triplets. So if I think of quarter notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I think of triplets over that, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, right? That's what I'm having to do with my right hand. So it's a constant alternation of down, ups, down, ups. So if you think about it, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, right? So as you can see, I'm doing all down up strokes and I'm not really doing anything different, but I have to do that within triplets, right? So you can kind of think of the first triplet as down, up, down, and then the second triplet as up, down, up. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, right? And all I'm doing is I'm just, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm accenting every beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, right? So that's your rhythm there. If I slow it way down, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4, okay? But the trick is that you've got to speed it up. Fast. So that's the trick, is being able to speed that strum pattern up. And so that's all you're doing in that intro. C over G is what you want to use there, which is just a C chord, but lift up your ring finger and put your pinky underneath it. Okay, so that's your first measure. E minor, A minor, and then a C over E chord, which is just your A minor, but get rid of your ring finger, okay? And then strum from the D string, or string 4, okay? So that's what you've got to do in the intro. And so the tempo is the same, 1 and the 2, the 3 and the 4, the 1 and the 2, the 3 and the 4, the 1 and the 2, the 3 and the 4, the 1 and the 2 and the 3. And then you've got to switch into that different strum pattern for verse 1. So really the chords aren't that hard, it's the strum pattern that's tricky. And so the strum pattern in the verse, and a lot of the chorus too, is a 2-measure strum pattern, where I'm muting the first measure on beats 2 and 4. So I'm going down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up. Okay? Down, up, mute, up, down, up, up. Right? And so that's the first measure of that strum pattern. The second measure is down, up, mute, up, down, 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 up, mute, up, down, 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 up, down, down. Okay? So if you put that together real slow, you have down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up, down, up, mute, up, down, down. Okay, so that's the strum pattern there. So on that second half, when you do those last two, down, down, you've got to release pressure in your chord. See in this other camera how I'm kind of squeezing that? So after I strum that, I'm releasing pressure so that note sounds quicker and isn't held out or wrung out, right? So that's going to tighten up that strum pattern there if you're able to release that pressure on all your mutes. So that's what you got to do for your strum pattern. So verse 1, you got 2 measures of F, then an A minor, and then an A9. So what we're doing for the A9 is we're just grabbing this A minor like this and getting rid of our index finger, and the 9 is the open B string. So you've got to do that 2-measure strum pattern over both the A minor and A9. Oops. Here it is, 3, 4. Okay. Then 2 measures of E minor, D minor, A minor, E minor. Okay, and then you're back into an instrumental section where the strum pattern is going to change to the second measure of that 2-measure strum pattern. So meaning you're just going to do this strum pattern here. Down, up, down, down. Okay, for every chord. Right, so that's how your instrumental sections are going to go. Different strum pattern sounds like this. 3, 4, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down. Okay? So that's how you're doing those instrumental sections with that strum pattern. Now, verse 2 is pretty much the same as verse 1, but you're going to end with 4 more measures. You're going to do an extra, let's see here, E minor, D minor, A minor, yeah. You're going to do an extra 2 measures of C over G. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And an extra 2 measures of E minor. Okay? So that's how you're doing verse 2, just extending it with 4 extra measures. And this is all in your tab and in your lyric sheet because this is kind of a long, winding progression and changes. So you'll definitely want to look at that when you're playing this tune and learning it. So in the chorus, it starts off with this A minor to C over E. And like the instrumental section, those asterisk chords on your lyric sheet, you're just going to do the second half of the strum pattern. Just like the instrumental sections. And then you're back into your F and you're doing 2 measures of the same previous 2-measure strum pattern. D minor, same thing. A minor, same thing, right? You can see that on your lyric sheet. Now you're going to see this F and G, and you're going to see that they're asterisked, and those are also that second half of the strum pattern. Okay? So you got to watch out for those in the chorus, and anytime they have an asterisk by them, you're going to do that second half of the verse strum pattern. Now we have this C major 7 over G. So if you remember our C over G, right, with our ring finger closest to our chin, just a C chord, lift up that ring, put the pinky underneath. But now for C major 7 over G, I'm going to get rid of my index finger, just like that, okay? So that's that chord right there. And again, you're doing the same verse strum pattern, 2 measures, right? 2-measure strum pattern. Okay, then to finish out that first chorus, you're going to wrap it up with another instrumental section. That second measure of the verse strum pattern. Verse 3, simple. It's just the same thing as verse 2. Now, chorus 2 gets kind of tricky because what's happening is you're going to do all the rhythms the same, but once you get to the end there, you're going to do a refrain, okay? And you can see it in here in your lyric sheet, and you're going to go back to you're going to do the refrain, and it's starting with the C over G. To A minor, C over E, asterisk F, asterisk G, C major 7. 4 measures. Then back to, again, you got to go back to the C over G to E minor, kind of like the intro. And then you're going to do everything else the same, right? So on that repeat of the refrain, instead of doing 2 measures of C over G, you're going to do a measure of C over G, E minor, and then continue on, okay, through the rest of it. So basically, really, what makes this song unique, I think, is, well, it's a long chord progression, and it's a cool chord progression, but it's also got a lot of different interesting rhythms that kind of move it along. So that's the key, is to get that 2-measure strum pattern and be able to differentiate and grab just the second half of that strum pattern during the instrumentals and those chords with an asterisk by them. Asterisk. Okay. I don't know what this song's about. I have no idea. Some kind of, I imagine some wild love affair in Brazil, maybe, with helicopters involved, and tall buildings, and strange spy jungle locales. That's what I imagine. And mixed in with some medieval folklore. It's kind of a cool concept. Maybe I should write that song. I'm going to try. Okay, everybody. Hope you enjoy this one. I Summon You by Spoon.